Hi, this is John Thomas, owner and founder of ATEX Freight Broker Training in El Paso, Texas. And today we're going to look at rates. This will be just a summary. We won't be able to go into detail. But we're going to talk a little bit about the art of rate negotiation. It's one thing to know how to build a rate, and it's another thing to be able to negotiate those rates. So your goal as a freight broker is to master the rate negotiation process. Now you could use a third party to find out what the going rates are for different lanes around the country. That's a good option for some broker. Or you can use your own experience. For every load that you have, you want to record and monitor all your activity. You want to record and monitor each lane and each shipper and each carrier. Use your own experience to build a powerful database of information that you can use to become successful. Now we're going to take a look at two examples. We'll take a look and see how the rate is built on two examples. But first, I want you to understand a couple items. Some shippers that you work with will want to know what your rates are. They will want you to give them quotes. And there's some pros and cons to doing quotes. In my detailed training, I talk about the pros and cons of giving quotes to shippers. And then for other shippers, especially starting out, you just want to ask them, what do you want to pay? And use that as a starting point. Now, if they want your quote, or even if they're telling you what they want to pay, you need to know some information. You need 4 pieces of information from the shipper. Number 1, you need to know where the pickup point is. Number 2, where's the destination? Number 3, what type of cargo are they moving? And number 4, what type of truck do they need? Okay, let's look at an example here. Here we've got a load. It's picking up in Kewanee, Illinois, and it delivers to Pueblo, Colorado, which turns out to be about 1,000 miles taking Interstate 80. And the shipper is loading a blade and scoop for a D9 cat tractor. And so the shipper needs a flatbed. Okay, now let's do the numbers. On this load, the shipper wants to pay $1,950. And let's say you as the broker, you want $293, which is 15%. And that's pretty much standard for many loads. So you're going to offer the truck $1,657. And that turns out to be $1.65 a mile. If you divide $1,657 by 1,000 miles, you come up with your $1.65 a mile. You want to know what that is before you post your load. You really don't, I tell my clients, you really don't want to become known as a cheap freight broker. So know beforehand, how much are you offering the truck? And then leave it up to the trucker to decide if they want the load or not. So the question is, will this fly? Will it work? Well, a lot of times it doesn't work. The truck driver wants more money, and that's okay. So maybe it ends up like this. The shipper bumps up his rate a little bit. Now he's willing to pay $2,500. And you as the broker, you can reduce your profit margin, you think in this case, down to 12%. And that still gives you $300. So you're offering the truck $2,200, which turns out to be $2.20 per mile. Again, that's dividing the $2,200 by 1,000 to come up with $2.20 per mile. So this is one example. Let's take a look at another example. Here we've got a shipper and he wants to move some apples. So he's got 980 cases of apples. He wants to pay $1.75 per case, which comes out to be a total of $1,715. And then the letter N stands for negotiable. You always want to assume that the shipper's rate is negotiable. And again, we talk in detail about this in my training. Over time, you want to learn from these shippers which ones can pay a better rate and which ones can't. Believe me, there will be a lot of shippers that either can't or won't pay a better rate, and those are the ones you want to weed out. You want to focus on those that will pay a better rate. So let's go on here. Now we see there's 970 miles on the load, and that is not negotiable. And the broker wants 15% in this case, which is negotiable. So on this load, it's $257 to the broker. And so the truck is being offered $1,458. Again, that could be negotiable. And this would be $1.50 per mile in this particular load. So again, the question is, will this fly? And you're in the middle, you need to try to make it work. Now we've talked about the pickup point, the destination, the type of cargo, the type of truck. There may be other factors that affect the rate. You need to try and learn what are all the factors that affect a rate. It could be something like, it could be supply and demand on a particular lane. It could be geography. It could be weather. Over time, you need to build a database of knowledge about particular loads and lanes and shippers and carriers. And in my training, I provide spreadsheets to help individuals collect a wealth of information. But if you know the dollar amount that you're offering the truck, and if you know the number of miles on the load, then you can come up with the rate that you're offering the truck. And that's a starting point. It is so important for you to come up to a starting point, and then you as a broker, you're in the middle. You need to try to put the deal together. You need to know how to negotiate with the shipper, how to negotiate with the trucker, what to expect from each one. And believe me, it changes from load to load. But if you record and monitor your information, it's going to give you a great head start in dealing and negotiating with your shippers and your truckers. So you may need to be flexible at times. You definitely need to be smart, and you need to know when to hold them and when to fold them. I can help you get smart. Go to www.atexfbt.com. Look at the different training options, and let me know what your questions are if you have any, or let me know if you're ready to get started. Go there right now. And thanks for listening. This is John Thomas with ATEX Freight Broker Training in El Paso, Texas.